Ours is a very unique planet, the planet Earth, Mother Earth. It is unique in many sense because we are lucky to have been born in this Earth. And this Earth is the only planet with water, atmosphere, supplying us oxygen and all other basic amenities that we have got from this Earth. Well, the Earth is only a small part of the huge universe here. In this chapter, the stars in the solar system, we are going to read about all the aspects of the universe in a very brief and concise manner. So let us start, children, with the universe. The universe is the vast space, the infinite space which has the celestial objects. If we see up in a clear night sky, we can see the stars, the moon, and many other objects which may not be seen also. For that, we need a telescope known as astronomical telescope. During the daytime, we have the sun which supplies light for us. Likewise, children, there are many other heavenly objects which are also known as celestial bodies or heavenly objects in the universe. As I told you, when we raise our head during the night time, we see millions of stars. There may be galaxies, there may be some planets also which are not visible to our eye, but yes, they are there. The other name for universe is cosmos. And the study of the universe is also called cosmology. Which comes from the word cosmos. We are very lucky that our country has produced great astronomers in this field, because in our history books we have learned about Varamihira, Aryabhatta, who were the great astronomers of yesteryears, who gave us many concepts related to the universe. Similarly, we had Johannes Kepler, who gave us the laws of planetary motion. And with the invention of telescopes, the study of the universe has become a much sought after study, and it is a very vast study as far as universe is concerned. When we look up in the sky, we see a very beautiful bright object, and which we all know it to be the moon. However, moon does not have its own light. It is a non-luminous object. It reflects the light from the sun, which is then perceived by us. However, sometimes we see the moon changing its different shapes. You must have seen, sometimes the moon appears to be half, sometimes the moon appears to be of this shape, and sometimes it is fully bright, and sometimes there is no moon at all. This is actually not the changing of shape by the moon, but it is because of the light reflected in a particular position from the moon on the earth. So these different shapes of the moon are known as phases of the moon. Say for example, if this is the sun and this is our planet, the planet Earth where we live, and here we have the moon. So therefore, when the rays of the sunlight reach the moon, only this part of the moon, which is white, reflects light to the earth. So the people living on this side experience night, and hence for them the shape of the moon will be a half moon. Similarly, as the moon moves around the earth, which takes about 27.5 days, or rather 28 days, the shape of the moon keeps on changing. That is why we have a lunar month. And this changing of phases of the moon is also known as waxing and waning. We will see this waxing and waning of the moon by conducting a small and a simple activity. The moon is not as beautiful as it looks like. When you look at the moon, you may see some dark areas in the moon. In moon, there are very big craters. The dark surface on the moon are the craters which give it such an appearance. And one more remarkable thing is that in moon, the gravity is 1/6 of that of the earth. That means if you go to the moon and your mass is 48 kgs on earth, in the moon your mass will become 1/6 of your mass. That is 8 kg. In moon your mass will be 8 kg. So it is because of the gravity. There is no water on moon, there is no atmosphere on moon, and the gravity is 1/6 of the earth's gravity. Therefore, children, we have found astronauts who have reached the moon, and we know that when an astronaut jumps on one surface of the moon, he lands a bit far. It is because of this factor. Okay? When we were small kids, we were always fascinated by the rhyme, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are." But have you ever thought, children, how many stars are there in the universe? There are unimaginable number of stars in the universe, uncountable number of stars in the universe. It is not so easy to tell how many stars are there in the universe. A star is born, it grows old, and finally it dies. There are millions and millions of stars in the universe, and we see the stars twinkling. The light that we see as a twinkle is coming from a star which may be very, 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 very far away, and that far off distances is not expressed in kilometers. We express it as light year. Light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. Okay, and if somebody asks you which is the nearest star, you should not give it a second thought, because the Sun is the nearest star. The nearest star to the Earth is the Sun. The second nearest star is Alpha Centauri. And the third nearest star is Proxima Centauri. But you will be very, very shocked to know, if you have to travel from Alpha Centauri to Proxima Centauri, it will take millions of years. If you start traveling today in a very high-speed rocket from Alpha Centauri to Proxima Centauri, it will take millions and millions of years to reach from this star to this star. So that much distance cannot be expressed in kilometers. Hence, these huge, large distances in space, in universe, is expressed by light year. The Sun is the nearest star which supplies light to the Earth, and we know the Sun is the source of all the energy in the Earth. Stars, sometimes stars are found in clusters. These clusters of stars having a particular pattern, having a definite shape of an animal or some other shape of objects, are known as constellations. I'm sure you must have heard about zodiac sign. Leo is also a zodiac sign. Sagittarius is a zodiac sign. These zodiac signs are actually the constellations which form a particular pattern in the sky. Say for example, Leo is the Latin name for lion. So the constellation Leo is having a shape like a lion, and it appears in a particular season of the year, not throughout the year, in a particular hemisphere. So constellations are having a particular shape in the sky, and they keep on moving from one place to another. We will speak about three important constellations, and you must have heard about these constellations: Great Bear, Small Bear, and Orion. The Great Bear is in the form of a ladle. A serving spoon, a ladle. Orion is a constellation which is very easily visible in the night sky, which is also known as hunter. Great Bear, Saptarshi in Sanskrit. If you just travel here, you will see a star, and no wonder, this star is the brightest star that can be seen from the Earth, and the name of this star is Sirius. So these three constellations are the prominent constellations which are found in the night sky, and they too change their position from one hemisphere to the other. Actually, the stars, they do not move. The Earth moves from west to east, and so the stars appear to move in the opposite direction from east to west. Neither the stars move nor the sun moves. It is actually because of the movement of the Earth from west to east, the stars also appear to move from east to west. Otherwise, the stars, they do not move. We will see a small activity in which we will see the only star whose position is fixed, and the name of that star is pole star or Dhruva Tara, as it is known in Sanskrit. This is the only star, the pole star, whose position is always found to be fixed in one place. Likewise, these stars, the Great Bear having a group of stars, the Small Bear, the Orion, which is also a constellation having a group of stars, appear to move from one position to the other. However, this is the only star which does not appear to change its position at all, and we will see for one activity. Galaxy. Galaxy is a huge collection of clusters of stars, millions and millions of stars in the universe, along with some dust particles. Unimaginable, uncountable number of stars are collected in the galaxy, and our solar system, the family of the Sun and the 8 planets, mind you, 8 planets and the family of the Sun are located in a particular galaxy known as the Milky Way. The Milky Way has a collection of millions of stars, and here we are at this position, the Sun with other 8 planets, and the shape of this galaxy is spiral. There will be other shapes of galaxies. Elliptical, in the form of an ellipse. Our own galaxy is known as the Milky Way, and in Sanskrit it is also known as Akash Ganga. There are other galaxies. Of these, one of the prominent galaxy is Andromeda galaxy. A galaxy may be of spiral shape, or maybe of elliptical shape, or irregular shape, and our Sun and the family of 8 planets are located in this galaxy known as the Milky Way or Akash Ganga. Solar system. The word solar denotes sun. The meaning of solar system is the sun, which is the head of the family, and the 8 planets. Earlier, Pluto was also considered to be a planet, but from the year 2006, Pluto is no more a planet. It has been put in the category of a dwarf planet. Therefore, the solar system is a system in which the head of the family is the sun, which supplies energy, and the other 8 planets in the order of Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and finally Neptune. All these planets are unique in their own character, and the planets Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars are known as inner planets or terrestrial planets. On the other hand, the planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are known as outer planets or Jovian planets. These are gas giants. The planets Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars are the inner planets, whereas the planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune are outer planets, also known as Jovian planets. Every planet is unique in its character, and out of all these planets, the only planet which supports life is the Earth, which is also known as the blue planet. However, there have been speculations that Mars may support some form of life, although it is not yet fully established, but scientists are doing a lot and trying to prove and make Mars a habitable planet. Many proofs have also been found out that life may exist in Mars. Let us see some characteristics of these planets. Mercury is the nearest planet to the Sun, and therefore it is the nearest planet to the Sun. Venus is the second planet, but this is the hottest planet. The reason why Venus comes in the category of hottest planet is because the atmosphere of Venus has a lot of clouds, and because of this excess of clouds, the sun rays which enter inside the Venus are trapped therein, and they are not allowed to come out. Therefore, due to global warming phenomena, Venus is the hottest planet and also the brightest planet. This is the sister planet of the Earth because the size of this planet is almost equal to the size of the Earth. And this planet is easily visible before sunrise and after sunset, just after sunset and just before sunrise. Hence, Venus is also known as morning star or evening star. Earth is the only habitable planet with atmosphere, with water, which are the basic requirements for life to exist here. And the most important thing is that there is a layer of ozone which protects the Earth from harmful ultraviolet radiations. This ozone layer is found in the stratosphere. Moreover, there is a layer of carbon dioxide which keeps the temperature of the Earth moderate. Otherwise, in the absence of this layer, the Earth would have been uninhabitable. We couldn't have lived on this Earth. Mars, also known as Budh in Sanskrit, is a planet which is red in color. It is red in color because the surface of Mars has iron oxide. And in your chapter Metals and Non-Metals, you have learned that iron oxide is reddish brown in color. Therefore, the color of iron oxide, which is reddish brown, gives Mars the appearance of a red color. That is why Mars is known as red planet. Jupiter is the largest planet of the solar system, and Jupiter can hold about 1,300 Earths. We can keep 1,300 Earths inside Jupiter. It is the largest planet of the solar system. Saturn is a planet with rings. The rings around Saturn are made of gas, and these rings appear to be very bright and colorful. Uranus which is the planet after Saturn, and Uranus is unique in character because Uranus moves perpendicularly on its axis. All the other planets move in this manner: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. However, Uranus moves in this manner in its axis, perpendicular to its axis. That is why it is unique in character, the planet Uranus. Neptune is the farthest planet from the Sun, and that is why it is the coldest among all the planets. These are some of the basic unique characteristics of these planets, and there are many more other characteristics of these planets. However, these are some of the basic characteristics of the planets. And if you consider the satellite, Earth is the planet which has a satellite called Moon, and Jupiter is the planet with largest number of satellites. These are some of the characteristics of planets. So far we have learned about the planets of the solar system, and now we will see what asteroids are. Asteroids are the smaller planets, the rocky materials which are found orbiting between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. They have their own belt They are found orbiting between Mars and Jupiter, and these asteroids are actually the smaller planets, the rocky materials. The larger asteroids are also known as planetoids. Therefore, we will find asteroids only between the planet Mars and Jupiter in their own area, and this area where they are found is also known as asteroid belt. Some asteroids can be as large as the Earth or even larger than Earth, and some may be very small comparatively. Another important celestial object which is often visible in the night sky are meteors. Meteors are often known as shooting stars because when solid objects they fall to the earth, they appear as a bright streak of light because they catch fire, and this fire makes them appear having like a bright streak of light in the sky, and that is why they are known as shooting stars. The word meteor is derived from the Greek word meteora, meaning high in the air. Therefore, these meteors, they appear as a bright streak of light in the sky, and sometimes it so happens that we see showers of meteors, but they are not actually stars. Although they are known as shooting stars, they are not stars, but they are the rocky materials which catch fire and appear bright. Sometimes these meteors, they are as large an object that they fall to the earth, and they are known as meteorites. These meteorites may even create a big crater on the surface of the earth. Like for example, in California, a very big meteorite has created a very big crater the size of 2 to 3 football fields. Similarly, meteorite has also created a Lonarj Hill in Maharashtra. Therefore, meteor is another very important celestial object which is frequently seen in the night sky as a shooting star. Unlike meteorites or meteors, comets are dusty snowballs made of ice, methane and carbon dioxide, which often appear as a bright streak of light having a head and a tail. They are often found to move around the sun in elliptical orbits. One such important comet was observed by Sir Edmund Halley, and therefore the name of this comet is also known as Halley's Comet. This comet is visible after every 76 years. The last time Halley's Comet was seen in the year 1986, and it will be seen again after 76 years span, which means this comet will appear again in the year 2062. Therefore, comets are different from meteors because comets are having a tail, a bright tail and a head, and they are moving around the sun in elliptical orbits, whereas meteors can be seen very easily, frequently in the night sky as a bright streak of light. A satellite. A satellite is an artificial body placed in orbit around the Earth or Moon or some other planet in order to collect information for communication. These days we use mobile phones, we are always glued to the cable TV, and communication has become a very important thing in the modern world. The signals that we receive for our mobile phones, the signals that we receive in our televisions, we can watch live telecast programs sitting in one part of the earth in our TV. We use the internet All this is possible because of the satellites. It is an artificial object having all the facilities like cameras, the receivers, modems, which transfer the signals to the earth from one place to the other. Satellites, they basically carry information, and some satellites are also known as geostationary satellites because their period of movement is exactly 24 hours. And there are many types of satellites. Some satellites are for educational purposes. They may be known as EduSat. We all know, children, that Russia was the first country to launch a satellite into space, and that was Sputnik. After that, America came to the forefront, and our country India was not far behind in launching satellites. Aryabhatta was the first artificial satellite launched by our country India. And after Aryabhatta, there have been numerous developments, numerous changes, improvisations in the field of satellite making. Nowadays we even have satellites about the size of a small ball which has been sent to space. ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, is doing a lot in sending these satellites to the space. In India, there have been many satellites: Indian National Satellite, educational satellites, which are purely for educational purposes. And the basic purpose of these satellites is communication. They are also used for defense purposes, to check whether there is any infiltration in our country. It is also used for the purpose of resource location, the quantity of forests available in a particular place, and such that. Another important application of satellites is for the purpose of remote sensing. In remote sensing, information of a faraway place can be transferred from one place to another. So, students, satellites have become a very important aspect of modern day living, because without the use of internet, without the communication, without television, without satellite channels, our world will come to a standstill. Therefore, satellites give very important uses in the field of communication, defense, resource location, and remote sensing. In the end, let us learn some important facts of the universe which is unknown to many of us. 1. Universe was formed as a result of Big Bang theory about 13.7 billion years ago. So children, it was about 13.7 billion years ago that our universe came into existence as a result of Big Bang, the way you explanation, you must have got the basic facts about the universe, the solar system, and all the celestial objects in a brief manner, and I'm sure this will help you to enhance your knowledge, and you'll enhance more of your knowledge by reading books and taking the help of the internet and other such videos which are available in our platform.